फिर से बात कर रहे हैं आईपीओस के बारे में। और आज जिस आईपीओ के ऊपर चर्चा होने वाली है वो एक ऐतिहासिक आईपीओ है। ऐतिहासिक इसलिए नहीं क्योंकि उनका बिजनेस बहुत अलग है या उनकी कहानी बहुत अलग है। ये भारत के स्टॉक मार्केट में आने वाली सबसे बड़ी आईपीओ है। $2.5 बिलियन मैं बात कर रही हूँ पेटीएम की। हालांकि जब ये आईपीओ खुलने वाला था काफ़ी एक्साइटमेंट था, पर जब ये आया मार्केट में फॉर ओपनिंग एंड सब्सक्रिप्शन, इसे इतना अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स नहीं मिला। मैं तो ये भी कहूँगी कि घसीट घसीट कर निकला है ये अपने अंतिम दिन पर लिस्टिंग होने वाली है। बात करते हैं पेटीएम के बारे में, इसके प्रोस्पेक्ट्स क्या हैं, मोर इम्पोर्टेंटली ट्रेडर्स और इन्वेस्टर्स को पोस्ट लिस्टिंग क्या करना चाहिए। और जिन लोगों ने 2007-2008 का ईरा देखा है उनको ये भी महसूस हो रहा था कि क्या ये पेटीएम आईपीओ, क्या इसकी वैल्यूएशंस एक रिलायंस पावर किस्म का स्टोरी बना रही हैं, क्या उस किस्म का टर्न आने वाला है स्टॉक मार्केट में। ये सारी बातें हम डिस्कस करेंगे। आई होप यू एंजॉय दिस कॉन्वर्सेशन अबाउट पेटीएम एंड व्हाट टू डू नेक्स्ट।
If it becomes a professionally managed company,
Ooh.
yes.
Burn.
And yeah, they changed the management, yeah, and then why not? It's a buy for me. But just see how it is without VSS.
Yep. Okay, this is the mothership of them all, Paytm, which is, I think, from the private brigade, the largest that we've seen. I don't think anyone needs explaining about, what the Paytm story is. So let me launch straight into what your problems with Paytm are, or do you not have a problem with Paytm?
No, there are problems. So, as a valuer, when I see Paytm, I see two things: the GMV and the take rate.
Yeah.
So you have to understand the GMV for Paytm for last year has been about 4 lakh crores. But if you look at the take rate and what it's earning, it's approximately 0.6 to 0.8%. So that's very less when you compare it to an American Express or a PayPal globally. So one thing that they have to do is increase that take rate, and obviously the GMVs will grow because they are coming up with new products like all-in-one QR code and sound boxes and all those things. So first of all, they have to start charging for their products, right? These are unique products which require a lot of R&D. And if they're not charging and just giving it away for free, they are basically, reducing their top lines. Secondly, that take rate has to improve to a global standard, They can't be just doing this for free. 21 million merchants will increase eventually to 25 or 30 million merchants, but those merchants now have to start paying also if Paytm wants to come in the IPO. Once it gets listed, the investor will want profits, right? That's what the end game will be.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't be in losses throughout and just keep pumping in money. You now after the listing, you're going to be in the scanner. You're going to have to publish your quarterly results. You have to be answerable to the retail investors, all the investors for that matter.
Yeah.
300-400 million subscribers is a huge market share. And they have built that on the demonetization. They've grabbed onto that. Had they even encashed on that opportunity, had they started charging at that point of time, you would have been seeing a far higher valuation to Paytm, trust me, than what you're seeing right now.
Yeah.
What they did not do is they focused more on customer acquisition rather than making profits.
Correct.
If that focused on just profits at that time, I mean, a take rate of 1 to 2%, if they even should charge to, let's say, Ola or an Uber, who are their main merchants at this point of time, they would have made phenomenal amount of money. But then COVID hit, right? And all their major merchants, they're out of business, right? I mean, Ola, Uber cabs were not running. I mean, there was a shutdown, and merchants, there were no, payments as such, digital payments that used to happen. The Paytm Mall, the Paytm Mall was not a good, as we all know. Then Paytm tickets, movie tickets, no theaters were shut. Paytm travel, that was shut. So these all platforms, these all products and services that Paytm, the optionality that Paytm has created now, after burning so much of cash, now is the time that they should now focus on earning money and giving some return and profits. Profit now should be their motive rather than now increasing their consumer base, because they are there.
Okay. Let me play devil's advocate here and ask you a broader question about the fintech space, which has genuinely been, I think, one of the big achievements of what we've seen, in India's ecosystem, entrepreneurial ecosystem in the last couple of years. Paytm is certainly the poster boy within that. Paytm has not had trouble raising money in terms of outside of the market. They've got a lot of interest coming in. Would this be a story to watch and invest in at some point and see this as really scaling to the potential of an Amazon, for the lack of a better example, or you don't think so?
I believe the story has to unfold itself properly, because the main problem with Paytm has been the UPI. UPI has really killed Paytm's market share drastically, because it's simply your bank is giving money to my bank, that's it, and Paytm is just a route through it. Paytm is not charging anything because their competitor PhonePe is not charging anything because their competitor Google Pay is not charging anything. So it's all free. It's all free because everybody is not charging anything. So if the moment, and because even if these people start charging, Bhim UPI will not charge because that's the government driven initiative. Now there has to be a balance around it, whether some sort of take rate has to be charged, be it the fact that even if some customers are to go to Bhim UPI or the other vendors, they should actually have a policy. The government should have a policy around it, because no doubt it is making things simpler, it is making transactions simpler, but companies cannot keep on losing money because of this, because and this is a major part of the GMV.
It's interesting though that you say, I wish they focused more on profitability, because as we stand right now, it still doesn't seem to be the focus. They've said very clearly, not for the next 5 years. VSS has said market share, that's what I want to look at. In that sense, how do you plot it then? They're saying, we're not interested.
So that's what would scare you as an investor, as a retail investor, that the founder is talking here something else, but the VCs, the people who have invested in Paytm, I mean, you have Ant Financials, and you have the biggest and the best, SAF Partners is there. They are focusing on, and I think SoftBank is there. So SoftBank, and these guys want a return. They are like, show us the money, right? And eventually the money has to be made, right? I mean, you can't be a social service platform, right? You can't be a platform that's for the benefit of the society at large. You have to make money for the investors. So that's profit has to be the motive right now. And that's why they are coming up with the higher offer price now. From 16,600 crores, it's I think around 18,000
plus. Are there peers that you would benchmark it against?
Again, because of the fact that India is so different than others globally, you cannot benchmark Paytm against PayPal. PayPal charges a hell load of money to its people for conversions, for putting money in the bank and this, that, so these are charges that PayPal does. Paytm is still at the nascent state of charging people around it, because the moment Paytm starts charging, the user base starts to go away from them. And I remember taking an Uber some time back, and I did not have cash that time. I was using Paytm, so I had some small change in my wallet, because that's what Paytm wallet is all about. You just keep some small change out there, just like a normal wallet. I just said that, can I pay you through Paytm? I said, nobody uses Paytm भैया these days. कोई Paytm नहीं यूज करता, सब फोन पे यूज करते हैं आजकल, मेरे पास नहीं है. I said, is that true? So that was a defining moment for me. Why is that so? So I was not so much aware, because I'm more of a guy who would keep small change of cash in my pocket, and use a card if at all to be done. I'm not that UPI savvy guy. So it just got me to focus on the fact that UPI is actually free, because of which Paytm has actually, this is a defining moment for Paytm, because it needs money. It will need money because right now market conditions are so much favorable to him. Maybe 1 year, 2 years down the line, they might not be so much favorable. So why not then provide an exit to investors, get a good amount of cash in the company, and maybe then pivot the business from the usual platform to a different style of a platform, maybe having value added services, the main forte, main revenue generator, and this is a separate and side business.
So what Mayank is trying to say is that customers have no loyalty right now, right?
Yes.
Surprise.
You can spend 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 on one customer acquisition, and then you see him flip.
Yeah.
Right. Once he has getting somebody else free,
Yeah.
so he just flip to a Phone Pay or a Google Pay or an Amazon Pay. Right. If Amazon can run a massive campaign tomorrow, and Paytm will be nowhere to be seen. Right. I mean, I'm just saying the same things Amazon can get, and an Amazon is a in the disruption business, right? Whatever it touches turns to dust for other competitors. So does Reliance, is the Indian counterpart, right?
So where would you draw the line in the sand in terms of fair value for Paytm?
So
how far? How many steps back is it?
So that's what I'm saying. So it's India's largest IPO, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
It's going to get a phenomenal listing, no doubt about that. Now it's going to raise half, I think, for the half of that stays in the company, right?
Yeah.
So now the main game for me, if I was VSS, I would focus on profits. I would see how I can increase that take rate. To increase that take rate, I would focus on selling more of insurance. I would see on selling more of loans, all those factors which people need, and I get a higher take rate. I get a 2 to 4% take rate on that loans to people who can't get loans normally. Paytm has that. They have 5 quality checks, and then they push those products to those people who have bad credit rating. So that's a big avenue for them. Then insurance. See, the Paytm QR code is in a lot of shopkeepers, and shopkeepers are highly underinsured. I mean, Paytm can try and off-sell their products of insurance to these shopkeepers because they have a QR code. Maybe get a very good deal out of that. That's what I will be thinking, rather than acquiring more customers now and burning more, having more campaigns and more spending more on media and more on cashbacks.
So since we know what we know, which is that he's not thinking like you are thinking, or at least not publicly so, I come back to my original question. What would you define as fair value for Paytm? What do you think it should have been valued at?
So for me, again, what we did when we valued Paytm is that we took a take rate assumption of 1%.
Okay.
And then we took a GMV growth rate on a year-on-year basis for 40% for up to 5 years, and then we tapered it down to 5% at the end of the 10th year. And basis on that, and since it has a lot of operating losses that is carried forward, you get a benefit in the income tax for that. So the fair valuation as per us and those standards is $20 billion right now. Having said that, the fair valuation is 2,000 rupees, but the focus of the founder and how he's going to spend that money entirely changes. So let's say tomorrow, and that's totally on my assumption that an Amazon will not come in the picture and not disrupt the market entirely, and totally on that assumption that Paytm is going to go more on the optionality side of it. They are going to sell more of insurance, more of loans, more of credit cards, rather than focusing on the B2C space, right?
Such small amounts, charging small. These small amounts are eventually going to go
Paytm,
a long way.
Paytm can be like one platform for ticketing, movies, gold, mutual funds, insurance. Paytm Karo can be for Paytm Karo for everything. And that is something that I feel bullish about. And that's why we did a valuation of around $20 billion, which roughly comes out to be 2,100 rupees per share.
Okay. But would it be a skip or subscribe?
For me, it would definitely be a skip. The reason is because of the fact that this valuation is also based on certain very rosy assumptions which we have taken. Once the management is clear about the roadmap of profitability, even if it is after 5 years, no problem.
You cannot imagine the valuation of Amazon without Jeff Bezos. You cannot imagine the valuation of Tesla without Elon Musk, right? If you take them out of the company, what will be the valuation of that company, right? So yes, VSS is Paytm, Paytm is VSS, no doubt about that. But the point here I'm trying to make is that, as what we are hearing in media reports right now, that his vision or his forecast for his own company for the next coming 5 years is not driven on earning profits. It's more on customer acquisition, right? So once that is the focus and he's not looking to be profitable for the foreseeable future, but then as a retail investor, that's a big red flag. Right?
Is it also a red flag when you know that there are conflicting points of interest amongst the key investors? Because that's not the point of view that some of the key investors in Paytm have, right?
Definitely. And that's what. So if there are more litigations around that and there are no clear, investors, I mean, there's no harmony between the investors and There are legal cases going on. So yeah, I mean, true, definitely.
Yeah. So where does that end up for Paytm? Between a skip, a subscribe, or buy it at some point, where would you be?
I believe Paytm story, you can buy it at some point of time only when the management is very clear about the profitability roadmap.
Okay.
Other than that, it seems to be a skip. Of course, listing pop seems to be great.
Yeah,
You
that's just a
can
whole
always
other
do that.
vertical, right?
Yeah, and other than that, it seems to be a skip. You don't. I would never hold on to it. Not even for 15,000 rupees. I would not hold on to it.
I don't need to ask you, but it's a skip, right?
No, I mean, if it becomes a professionally managed company,
Ooh,
yes,
burn.
and yeah, they change the management, yeah, and then why not? It's a buy for me. But just see how it is without VSS.
Yeah.